Hey, good morning. Looking forward to a nice calm day. What do you mean they posted a response? So, Wizards of the Coast decided that now's the perfect time to finally say something. After canceling multiple announcements, after their biggest competitor comes in and critically hits them out of the game, now Wizards of the Coast says, okay, here's our time to shine. I haven't read this yet. Let's go ahead and do this. There's nothing in my coffee mug. I did that strictly for a gag. Let's read the update, shall we? When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Okay, so use something similar to the Pathfinder compatibility license. Make that a point of termination. Literally, in the PCL, which you have to apply to get, there is a line that says, hey, if you use this for hateful, discriminatory, or any type of content that goes against Paizo's beliefs, we can terminate it. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain, and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. Oh, guys! WotC's the good guy. Duh, they were doing all this to stop NFTs. That's why if you make too much money, you have to give it to Paizo to stop people from trying to sell NFTs. Oh, they're the good guys. And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. So that's why Wizards of the Coast got a license to use all of our homebrewed content in perpetuity, irrevocably, for any purpose? That was to fight the companies, not the people uploading homebrew to your website, so you could steal it. Driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job is to be good stewards of the game. Okay. How did this help that? Everything you wrote literally went against the core design of the community of the game. The guy who wrote the original OGL said as much. And two, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. Look, admit you were wrong. Just admit it. We would have so much more respect for you. You would repair so much more ground if you were just straight with us. Just say, we were blinded. We were momentarily blinded by what we thought we could get away with. We have learned you do not want that. You are not okay with that. We are going to try to be better. Don't lie by saying, yeah, no, this OGL was made with you in mind. Clearly, you're just too stupid to see that, community. Clearly, you're just not big brain enough to see that we were trying to stop NFTs and stop big corporations. Why can't you see that we're the good guys? Because Wizards, none of that is true. And we all know none of that is true. Your own employees are coming out and leaking information that this is not true. Maybe the person writing this thinks that's true. But everyone else knows it's not when it comes down to who truly speaks for your company, the CEO and bigwigs making the actual financial decisions. And that's what OGL 1.1 was, a financial decision. It doesn't matter if you get Chris Perkins, or even like Matthew Mercer up here to say this stuff. It's not gonna help because they're not the ones making the decisions. That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so that their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. Cool. Why didn't you say that a week and a half ago? Why didn't you say that the same day Linda leaked the draft? Why didn't you come out and say, everything you see here is an early content draft? Why'd you put dates on it? Why did you put January 6th if it was a draft and the draft was leaked at the end of December? Why would you give so little time for a leak and then say nothing if this was your point? In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the mass majority of the community. No, but you did anyway, because you didn't even say that over $750,000, this all applies. No, you said the license to use all of our stuff irrevocably for any purpose applies to everybody who signs the OGL, not just big corporations over $750,000, which, by the way, a $750,000 company is not a big corporation. It's Matt Colville, a guy with a team. That's not a big corporation. If you wanted to target big corporations, you'd make it like 5 million or more, and then you'd just be targeting Paizo. That's it. We all know you were trying to target Paizo with this. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a 1. They're just like us, guys. They're nerds just like us. They talk about things like rolling a 1. Oh, what a critical fumble, right? Oh, they're good guys. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while staying true to our principle. You're saying it's impossible to make a clause that prevents hateful and discriminatory language, to make a clause that prevents abuse through blockchain and NFTs, and to make a clause or special contract that prevents corporation abuse of the OGL. You're saying all 3 of those are impossible. Because Paizo's already done 1 or 2 of those, and it's not that hard. I don't know if Paizo has anything against the NFTs or blockchains in place, but I'm sure if you paid a lawyer with your Hasbro money, you could probably figure it out. So here's what we're doing. All right, Wizards, take me to church. The next OGL will contain the provisions that will allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build and specify that it covers only content for TTRPGs. So you are changing the OGL. Even though there's over 8,000 signatures on a petition saying, hey, don't even touch it, you're still going to change it. Even after the complete backlash of the entire community saying this is fine as it is, you don't need to change it, you're still saying, no, you're too stupid, you don't get it, you don't understand it. We need to change this so that we can make money off of free content. You see, that's what OGL, open gaming license, we mean open wallet gaming license. We need to make money. Hasbro's a really poor, starving indie company. We don't have a lot of funds. Sorry, I'm getting really, really aggro on this. It is still, well, it's not early in the morning. It's 1 p.m., but I slept like a rock. That means that other expressions, such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT uses, etc., will remain unaffected by an OGL update. So you're saying Critical Role is safe. All that sentence says is that Critical Role isn't going to be charged royalties, but Matt Colville still will be. Content already released under 1.0a will also remain unaffected, which doesn't make sense if you still deauthorize it, so which is it? What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It will also not include the license back provision that some people was afraid was a means for us to steal work. Okay, that's a good start. Don't take what's the word? Not copyright, but like cool stuff. Just because we want to share it doesn't mean you should get it. That thought never crossed our minds. I'm sure the thought never crossed your minds that anybody making content under the OGL with the way that was worded would instantly become usable by Wizards. Never, no. Stop lying to us, please. We would rather you be upfront about your scumminess than lie and say it was an accident. Just stop the lies. Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. So that's the funny thing. They're still trying a legal loophole here because Wizards didn't own your content in the new OGL 1.1. That wasn't the problem, Wizards. The problem is that you had a sentence saying we get to use it, take inspiration from it, and apply it to anything we want irrevocably, perpetually, for no cost. Sure, we owned it, but you got to use it for whatever you want for free. That was the problem, not that you were stealing it. The OGL said you own the content you create. The problem is that Wizards can use it for free for any purpose. If they wanted to make a porn dating sim out of some Paizo IP characters, legally, they could. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. Press X to doubt. The license-back language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. Sure, that happens. It sucks. But I don't think you need to affect everybody with that by claiming you can use their content for anything you want. As we continue to invest in the game that we love and move forward with partnerships in film, television, and digital games, that risk is simply too great to ignore. That's like the first line I agree with. That yes, as you are expanding into other forms of media, yes, it's a little bit worrisome that someone will try to steal it and use it. But you've already solved that just by saying it only applies to TTRPGs. The OGL does not apply to TV shows or film or video games. Just that's enough. If you want to add that to OGL 1.0 and just say, all of this only applies to TTRPGs. If you want to make a video game like Solasta, sign a unique contract. You don't just need the OGL. Sure, makes video games a little more complicated, makes the tabletop gaming feel a lot more safe. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Okay, there we go. That's the big line. That's the big line. We do not have rights to the content you create. Thank you. You know how you can easily do that? Leave 1.0a alone. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game special, and that belongs to you. Aww. Thanks, fairy godmother. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today. Ah, darn. And here we were hoping you were going to drop it completely randomly on us at the end of the business week. That's what we wanted, because we need to make sure we get it right. But it is coming. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost. Is that a reference to my video? Is that actually a reference to my video, Paizo wins, Watsy loses? Hey, I take that as a win. Let's go. Because making your voices heard forces us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won and so did we. Are you serious? Are you this delusional, Watsy? The referee is holding up the hands of Paizo and Kobold Press and everyone else who just beat you down. And you're in the corner like, I had fun too. Thanks, guys. Let's do this again sometime, as you spit out a tooth. Come on. There is grace in defeat. You are allowed to admit you were wrong. People would respect you more if you did. So get your head out of your ass and just be honest with the people who care about your company. Otherwise, they're going to become the people who cared about your company because you lied to them and talked down to them. And you can't repair that damage. Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. Then why was it given like a 3-day grace period before it was even going to go into effect, and you never said anything after the draft leak? The drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. I have no doubt that your designers would love to do that, but I feel like your CEOs could not give less of a shit. We realized we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change to this major could only be done well if we were willing to take that feedback no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, what you need. Oh my god, the gas of this. And what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted fans and we love D&D's devoted players and the creators who take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. I hate to say it, but you probably will. The way you're wording this, you're not even going to check if your next OGL draft it works for us. There's nothing in here that says, we're going to make sure we get community feedback. We are going to release the draft publicly and let the community give feedback. They're just saying, we're going to write a new one and drop that one. And that one will be better. You can trust us. We don't need your feedback on the new one, whatever, the new 2.1 or whatever they're going to draft up. We don't need the community feedback on that one. No. We learned enough. We're going to get it right instantly next time. So we'll drop that when we drop that. Just be ready for it. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. This is one of the saddest posts I've read in a long time. I can tell it was written by like a designer and not the CEO, obviously. And it's just sad. The fact that they're claiming, oh, everybody won. We all won today. We're all winners. Everybody gets a trophy and everyone gets a ticket to Humphrey's ice cream stand for a kid-sized vanilla soft serve. Let's all go together. It's so sad. It's really sad that even this post is dripping with CEO grease. And they just want people to know We don't actually care about you. We just want to know how we can keep your money without you leaving. What's the least we can do to change this OGL that'll make you happy and keep you around and get you to re-up that D&D Beyond subscription, baby? Yeah, that's where we're at. This obviously isn't the end of this saga, but hopefully it's the end for at least a few days so I can relax and come back on Monday or Tuesday with some more optimistic content. But thank you for the insane amount of support. That last video is already my second most viewed video of all time, which is mind-blowing. I'm going to go eat some breakfast and then play some board games with a friend. Later.